Rosalee, the seven-figure doula whisperer, and I'm so happy that you took their time to join us today. Where our conversation is, we're just here to make sure that on our conversation, it helps someone every day, one conversation at a time. And this evening, I want to talk about something that is so important that sometimes gets so overlooked, and it's the postpartum planning for the postpartum period. I decided to do this segment this evening because over the past week, I've come across so many people who have no idea that this service exists. I spoke to one lady yesterday that she was so overwhelmed, and she was actually referred to me by her pediatrician because she's so sleep deprived. And she was like, I have no idea that service like this was around, and I have been struggling for weeks, sleep deprived, overwhelmed, and I'm so happy that I found you. So I'm like, you know what? How many people have no idea that this service is around? So I really want to talk about it. But more so important is to encourage others who are in the maternal arena, who you're pregnant, or you're thinking about getting pregnant, to also think about the postpartum period. Make sure that you're thinking about your postpartum plan, because as a postpartum doula, I hear so many times where mom have the perfect birth plan, right? And nothing after. And when I meet with my clients for a consultation session, I always go down the list and ask them questions and see where they are, what they're even thinking about, because a lot of times they have no idea what to expect when they get home. So that is my role as a postpartum doula, to educate my community as to what the postpartum period look like, what that fourth trimester look like, also the things that you need, things that you may not think about, and making sure that you are prepared for that. Because a lot of times too, parents don't even want to go back to work because they had no idea what they're up against, what they're even supposed to plan for. They have not even thought about what going back to work is going to look like. Am I going to get a nanny? Am I going to get, daycare? What does that look like? So I want to take this time and just, share, from my experience as a postpartum doula, and just being in that maternal arena, and just see what, moms have gone through over the years based on my experience, and just having that conversation with, first, second, and even sometimes it's mom's fifth child. But every situation is different, because sometimes for the first baby, mom may be around family, and then for second or third, she might move away, because of career, job, whatever, family dynamic. So now she's alone and have no idea as to what to expect or who she can call. So we just want to make sure that we are not only the village for her, physically being there, but also making sure that we are also providing the emotional support, and be a resource for parents. So first thing I want to make sure that, I always tell them, make sure you have a solid plan in place. And this make all the difference in ensuring a smooth transition, because it is so different from going to being, it's like a business, right? Going from a solopreneur to going to be a CEO or advanced, where you're having a team. So now you're going from just being you responsible for just you, to now you have to be responsible for this person or persons, because it could be multiple. So what does that look like? What does that look like? Now you cannot just grab your purse as a woman and go. You have to make sure that you're looking behind, and the baby is ready, and the diaper bag is ready, and
Just be real and call it what
everything.
it is. Your life has gone from, it takes me 30 minutes to get out the car. I'm sorry, 30 seconds
To
to
get
get
out of the
out the car,
car.
to 20 minutes to get out the car.
Yeah, and on top of that, you also have to think about your. Now it's not only about thinking about the newborn. You also have to think about your mental state. You have to think about your health, your well-being. So it's not just like having a baby, and that's where it's up. Your whole life is changed,
Changes
right? Your whole
completely.
completely changed. Like I said, now you're responsible for another person, a
That
whole.
has to eat, has to sleep, has to be changed, has to be completely taken care of. Can't do anything to contribute for the first 2, 3 years of existence.
No, 18 years. pretty much.
See, I was trying to be nice about it, but
Pretty much
okay.
18 years. So yeah, the one of the first thing I always ensure with my client is to make sure that you're setting up your space. Always, even in business, same thing in a baby life. Make sure that you're working smarter, not harder. So you have everything within hand's reach. If you're a mom who have no help, especially overnight, if you're a mom who have no help and you're breastfeeding or even bottle feeding, I always suggest making sure that you have everything set up for easy access because it is hard when you have to get up and trying to figure out where things are. So make sure you plan, same way you plan your daytime, you're going to make sure that you plan your nighttime. Your daily routines, that is going to change also. No, you're not just going to get up make your cup of coffee or chill. No, you have another person that you have to think about, right?
Waking you up in
And
the middle of the night because
and
there's something scary under the bed.
we're not even going to get to that point yet. They're not at that point. I'm talking about, like, just from day one. So those are the things that I always encourage my mom, my parents, to plan for. And also, I always say you have to have a little selfish moment in there. Prioritize your self-care, because if you're not taking care of yourself, you cannot take care of the newborn.
Exactly. Taking care of yourself is, I tell people to look at it like they tell you on an airplane. If something happens and suddenly the air mask drop, they tell you to put yours on first before you put on the child's, because if you're not taken care of, you can't help anybody else. So
Nope.
you've got to remember to take care of yourself.
Just create a restful environment, which is comfortable for both daytime and nighttime. Right. Like I said, make sure your nursing area is stocked. Don't forget your postpartum recovery kit. Think about all those things. It's always amazed me when I go in for a consultation and I'll ask a client, what is your plan for, if you have an older child? Because, sometimes they do. What is your plan for who's going to take care of that older child? And they're looking at each other like, that's not something we thought about. If you have a pet, who is going to take care of that pet? Who is going to do laundry? Who is going to do meal prep? Because we all have to eat. So somebody have to be responsible, for food. Are you going to be doing meal prep and freeze and do crock pot and stuff like that? Or are you going to do, take out? Or are you going to have friends drop food off? What does that look like? So, and also, if you're having multiples, you have to think about twice the amount of workload, twice the amount of laundry you have to do, twice the amount of bottles you have to wash, right? But if it's something that you can afford to hire help, do so. But that also come into your postpartum plan. That's something you should think about before the baby even get here, so you can at least develop that relationship with the person who's going to help you. If you're planning on breastfeeding, establish a relationship with a lactation consultant. I cannot tell you how many times moms call and she is in so much discomfort, breast engorged. She really want to breastfeed. She have no idea what to do. She have no idea who to turn to. And after, like, okay, have you thought about using a lactation consultant? No, she did not. She didn't even know that,
That person
that's
exists.
something that she could have, reach out to. So I always encourage mom, establish that relationship, have that lactation consultant on speed dial. Make it, use your resources, the people that you're going to need during that time. Think about it as a life insurance, right? Or a car insurance. You have it just in case you need it. But
It's better to
it's the,
have it, not need it,
yes,
than need it and not
and I have
have
it.
it.
And also build that relationship. So when you do need to have that person, you're comfortable talking to that person because you already established that relationship with that person.
Exactly.
So it is very, very important. Now, again, I talk about support. Having that strong support team is key. Like, consider hiring help. Sometimes we think that, okay, our mom is going to be able to help. What is the relationship like with your mom? How strong is that relationship? How much does your mom know about caring for newborns? Because at times you might be the baby of the family. Mom might have no idea of the new safety guidelines, right? if mom haven't been around babies or been around someone who's going through the postpartum journey, what if you are going through different things, whatever it is, it could be emotional or it could be, physical. Are your mom going to be able to identify the things that you're going through to refer you to the appropriate healthcare providers? So having that trained person there, it's key, because they're not only there to physically help you, but they're there as resource. They're trained to identify things. Because I always tell people, when you give birth, that's not where the stop. Georgia have the highest rate of maternal mortality, right? But Georgia is not the only state that is going through. The whole country right now is in a crisis. And a lot of times these are things that could be prevented if you have someone who is around you who can identify things that you're experiencing, things that are going on that is not normal. We who are trained can refer you to the appropriate healthcare provider, which can catch things so much earlier, which will in turn have a much better outcome for you and for your newborn. Right, Mr. Bizzell? Anything you want to add to that? I know you're going to talk about the financial part of it, because that having a new baby, that's an additional thing that, resource that's going to be needed. So it's not just the physical care that's going to need for the baby. No, you're going to have to think about the
Money and
financial
everything else.
aspect of it and planning down the road as to, planning for the baby future. Start thinking about long-term plans, right? Like I said, financial, but not only financial. You have to think about who you're going to use for your pediatrician. Have you interviewed that person you're going to use? What your child care arrangement is. And that's something that you should definitely look into sooner than later. Consider financial planning for your child's future, like I just suggest, including savings plan and insurance.
Just to touch on what you were talking about before, one of the things that parents really do need to think about, and why a postpartum doula would be advantageous, is the fact that all these things you mentioned come into play, but not all of these things are thought about
Nope.
either during the birth, before the birth, and definitely not after the birth, because you've got so much else, so many other things that you're concerned about. Again, that's where that postpartum doula can come into play, that infant care doula can come into play, because with the experience that our doulas have, all of this has already been thought out. All of this has already been planned to an extent. No, they won't be able to give you all of your details. They won't be able to give you all of your specific doctors, caretakers, lactation consultants, and whatever, but giving you that thought process, giving you that list, giving you that ability to take a moment and say, okay, I need this, this, and this, because we never thought about it.
Right.
And a lot of parents don't, no matter what your age, no matter if this is your first child, your second child, or your fifth child. You don't always think about it because it's not always something that comes to mind. And even those of us that say have our parents around, they grew up in a different era, different time, doing different things, handling things differently. Well, you don't usually have those options.
That's true.
Most households are two-income households where both parents have to work. You don't have that one parent that has the luxury of staying home, even with the new rules and regulations about being able to take off a certain amount of weeks to be home with the child. It's
That's
not
not
like
long
both
enough.
of you can do it.
And it's not long
It's
enough.
not long enough.
Not long enough.
And even if you do it, let's say you both take advantage of it, after that 8 or 10 weeks or whatever it is now, then what?
Yeah. And sometimes too, it's not even, I'm all for, maternity and paternity leave, but at times for us is also the knowledge that we bring in, right?
Exactly.
The education.
Things that we've
the
already
support.
experienced that
Exactly,
you're not thinking about.
Exactly. Because like for instance, and sometimes even having a perfect birth plan or perfect, postpartum plan, things can go haywire. Mom could have the perfect birth plan and then she end up with, a
C-section.
C-section, right?
Yep.
No, she's going to need the extra support. She's going to need the extra help. She could,
Or
with, especially having a C-section and having two babies to care for, maybe having older kids. It's a lot. It's a big load.
Or a change in health. I don't know all of the technical terms, but I know that there's a situation where when giving birth, blood pressures spike.
Yeah, eclampsia,
That's what
preeclampsia,
it's okay.
right? Preeclampsia.
Or the mother comes out and now she has to be on medication because of some issue that
Right.
took place only because she gave birth. She never had this before. I've seen it happen to many. I had a friend that came up after having birth, lupus. Who would have thought that that would have be, something? So you always have to think,
Ahead of
even
time.
if your plan is what you call perfect, things happen.
Sure do. And also, like we have said before, things change, rules and regulations change, different safety, guidelines that come up. So having that trained person there to help you with to provide the safety and comfort for your baby is so essential and so important. Also to give you that peace of mind. One of the things that I get a lot of question about is sleep. Like every parents want to know how soon the baby is going to start sleeping through the night.
Never.
How soon am I going to be able to rest? And I always said every baby is different. And for us, what we do, we set up safe sleep guideline from night one, safe sleep routine from night one. We make sure that we establish that so you and your baby know night times are night times, right? The nighttime schedule is going to be different from a daytime schedule, right? You're making sure that you set that time aside every night, whether you want to say, okay, your family nighttime is 7 p.m. or 9 p.m., you make sure the consistency, because babies feed off consistency. They need that, right? They need love, they need consistency,
And
and they need to know that they're being cared for and they feel secure.
you have to establish in the beginning day and night.
Yes, yes,
None
and
of this, the cousin from Seattle came to
no,
town,
you
so they
have to
want to
say
keep the
nope,
baby.
nope,
No.
no. You have to set
7
boundaries.
o'clock,
You have to
go to
set
bed.
boundaries. You have
You
to
don't
set
like it?
boundaries.
Not my
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. You have to set boundaries because you're the one who's going to be left to deal with it,
Exactly. Because
to
when
deal
that
with
person
it.
goes back to wherever they came
Yes.
from, you have to deal with the fallout of the child.
Yes, yes. So we talk about safe sleep setup, making sure that the baby ear is safe. We all know back to sleep in that crib somewhere safe. We always, I am for safety first. No co-sharing, right? The baby's not supposed to be in the bed with you. Every culture is different, though. You have some cultures where that's what they do. So we have to respect that, but we have to give the family the guideline, right? We
Yes.
have to we have to give them the guideline. No co-share. You can co-sleep. Make sure if the baby's in the room is the guideline. But if that's what you choose to do, I'm gonna make sure that you sign that waiver. I'm not responsible. I cannot be responsible. If anything happened, I can only present you with the information, and you make that decision. Because at the end of the day, that's your
That's your
baby.
child.
That's
You've
your
got to
that's
deal
your
with it.
baby.
Yes.
So we are gonna take a short break, and we're gonna come back. So please, if you have any question, please drop it in the chat. We'd love to hear what question you have. I know I'll share with you. If not, I'll refer you to the appropriate healthcare providers. I look for your questions in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer them, or I'll provide the resource that you need so you get the appropriate and the correct answer to your question. So before I go any further, in this month, August is breastfeeding month. This week is actually breastfeeding week. And in honor of breastfeeding month week, I am giving away a set of a breast pump. It's a manual breast pump, right? And also a set of breast milk storage bags. So if you're in the Snellville area or you're in the Stone Mountain area and you know someone who or you yourself need a breast pump, please reach out to me, drop it in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to get it for you. And also the storage bag. Because sometimes mom may be going back to work, and even though she's breastfeeding, she may need a breast pump to use while at work. So I want to make sure that mom have the things that she need. I also created a resource guide that I am giving away for free All you have to do is put in your information, and you'll be able to download it. I'm going to be dropping it in the link. It is very resourceful. It has a lot of information you can find. This is for people in the Atlanta area. So, but it has also the resource list is for the people in Atlanta, but the information can be used anywhere because it's digital information. So you have access to pediatrician in Atlanta area, lactation consultant, pelvic floor therapies, and also labor doulas. Because I'm not a labor doula, I'm a postpartum doula. So a labor doula is someone who will be able to help you during birth, and also we have midwives listed in there. So if that's the route that you choose to go, I always encourage moms, make sure that you have someone there with you that's going to advocate for you. It's going to help you to use your voice, right? Remind you of your birth plan, remind you of the things that you said you wanted to do. Because sometimes we're when we're in that going through the labor, right, and the pain, and your mental state not where it's supposed to be, even though we know within ourselves what we want, a medical professional may walk in and they might like, okay, we're going to be doing this. And because you may be tired, you may be feeling overwhelmed, you may be feel drained from being in labor so long, you don't even question what they're saying. But having a doula there with you, that she's going to be talking to you before, she's not going to talk for you there. You have to use your voice, right? But we're there to encourage you to use your voice, to speak up for yourself. Ask question, right? We cannot tell you what to do. This is your body, this is your baby, this is your life. But we are there to support you. We're not there to interfere with the medical professionals. That's not what we do. But we're going to have conversation with you before you even get there. We're going to explain things to you. We're going to give you the resource, right? So we're going to let you know, okay, this is what things look like, right? And if the doctor say this, remember, if you don't understand what they're saying, don't look to the labor doula to answer that for you. Ask the question. They are working for you. You hire them. So they're supposed to answer any question and explain to you as much as possible. So I have the resource guide. There's a lot of information in there for you to use. I'll be happy to send it to you. As a matter of fact, we drop it in the link. And again, if you are someone you know is in need in the Atlanta area, Snellville area, and is in need of a manual breast pump and some milk storage bag, please reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to get that for you. So,
I'm going to jump in just for a second. Um, Dads, it's also important that you understand exactly what's going on. Yes, mom is the one having the baby, but you are also there. You are also responsible. You are also involved. So you need to make sure also that you know what's going on.
yes,
That birthing doula is there to answer your questions also. So don't feel like just because, we have been concentrating on mothers that you don't have a say or that you
right,
don't need to know.
right.
You need to know as much as she does.
So you can speak for
Because
her.
you can speak for
Yeah.
her, and even when you get home, you are also going to have to be that support system. So you need to know what's going on.
Yes.
So make sure you step up and say, I don't understand if you don't.
Right.
And if you do understand, then still have that discussion so that you both are on the same page and you both agree with what's being said and
Yes.
what's being done.
Yes, that's very important. With a white coat,
And tell
it's
you one
because
thing that you're supposed to accept, that there's more than one way of getting this done.
exactly.
And you both need to be on the same page.
Yes, and have it explained to you so at least you understand. And like I said, with the breast pump, if you're this is what you want to do, you want to breastfeed, like always encourage you, make sure you have a lactation consultant on speed dial. Also make sure that your nighttime is set up if you're going to be pumping or you're going to be breastfeeding, whatever you're going to do to make it easier, have everything all set up. If you're going to bottle feed, have the bottles already lined up, have everything. I remember when I'm working with, we especially like with multiples, I know how many diapers I'm going to need every night, and I have those already fold out. And if a baby is circumcised, I already have my gauze out, I already have whatever it is I have already ready and ready to go. So just to make it so much easier for everyone involved. You don't want to take all night to change the baby, all night to feed. feed that baby, burp, swaddle, get that baby back to bed, get mom her rest that she needs. Same thing, partners, if you're helping, the same thing. Make it easier for you. Get everything all situated so you know exactly what you're doing.
And once again, dads, your sleep is just as important because when moms sleep, you got to be up functioning.
Exactly.
And if
So
you
we're gonna
both are sleep deprived, nobody's happy.
nobody's gonna be happy. So on that note, we're gonna take a quick break and we will be right back.
Okay?
Are you
Hi
putting in
everyone,
hours
this is
of
Rosalee,
work but
your
not seeing your
7-figure
doula business grow?
Are you joining in
If you're
paperwork and
tired
you
of the
should be
endless
supporting moms?
networking
If the
and
business
social
side of
media
being a
grind without
doula
seeing the
feels more
results you want,
overwhelming than
it's time for a
rewarding,
strategy
it's time
shift.
to talk.
I want to
It's
share with
time
you
for
3
change.
tips that
I
I
want to
use
share
in
with
my
you 3
business to
tips
help my
to
business to grow.
simplify your finances.
First, I
First,
refined
start
my
using a
target audience.
straightforward
I took a
accounting
deep dive
software
into who
designed
my
for
ideal
small
clients
businesses.
are and who
This
I
can
want to serve.
automate much
And then
of
I
the
target
heavy
my
lifting,
messages and
from
marketing
tracking
effort to
expenses
speak
to
directly
generating
to those
invoices.
clients' needs and their
Second,
pain points.
streamline marketing
This helped to
efforts.
make my service
Focus on 1 or
irresistible to
2
them.
marketing channels
Secondly, I
that will reach
enhanced
your
my
target
online
audience
presence.
efficiently,
I
such
optimized
as
my
social
website
media
for search
or
engine
local
and
parenting groups.
ensure that
Third,
my
use
website is
scheduling
user
tools
friendly.
to
We
plan
show
your
clients
posts in
which I show
advance
client
and keep
testimonials and clear
engagement
description of
consistent
all the
with
services
those daily
that
hustle.
I provide
So,
and simply
it's
direct a
more
call of
importantly to
action.
master
So
time
consider
management.
running target
Break your
ads
day
to
into
reach
blocks
your ideal
dedicated to
clients.
specific tasks,
Also,
including
make sure
client
that you're
time,
leveraging your
admin
clients'
work,
referrals.
and
That's
personal
one thing
breaks.
that I made sure I did
Using
in
a
my
digital
business
planner
because that is
for
so
project
important. People are
management
looking for
tools
references
can
when
help
you
you
use their
keep
service.
you on
Also,
track without
discounts
feeling
and
overwhelmed.
workshops.
So,
So,
if
if
you're
you are
feeling
feeling
overwhelmed
frustrated
by
with the
the
slow
business
growth
side
of
of
your
your
doula
doula
business,
business,
I want you
please
to comment
comment
growth
help
in the
below.
comment below
I
and
will
let's
definitely
discuss
show you
how
how
we can
I
work together
use
to turn
tools
your efforts into
to
actual
simplify
results.
and
Let's
streamline my
grow
business
your
so to keep
business
me
and
on
make
track
your
so
business
I
a
can stay
booming and
focused to do
successful
what I love
business.
to do
So
most,
until
which is
next
serving
time,
my
this is
clients.
Rosalie,
So
your
until next
seven-figure
time,
doula
this is
whisperer.
Rosalie, your 7-figure doula.
That was a brief commercial for my doulas and others in the birthing community. I'm always encouraging others, people who have their own business, how to make your business more sustainable. So I do have a membership that I working with doulas and others in the birthing community to grow and scale their business because this is such a passion-led field, and I want to make sure that we as doulas are having a sustainable living. We are not supposed to be working 2, 3 jobs to, live the life that we want to live. We are bringing life, helping to bring life in this world. And we are so needed. So I just want to, have that commercial. So if anyone is having, just need someone to bounce ideas off, need someone to support during this journey, please reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to, to mentor and just be able to give back to my community. Because the only way that we're going to be able to make an impact on the maternal mortality rate is to make sure that the people who are doing the work have a sustainable living. And we have to just face the elephant in the room. The people are getting burnt out and do not want to do this job anymore because it is hard to have a sustainable living. And then on top of that, people who need the help, please pay us what we are worth. Stop asking for discounts. Please show us that you value what we're doing. We are taking care of your most prized position. You're not going to Bloomingdale's and ask for a discount. You're not going into to Chanel or Louis Vuitton store and ask for a discount. We are there taking care of your most prized possession. Stop bargaining. Stop asking for discount. It is just not right. It is just not right. You don't go to Walmart and ask for a discount. You don't go to McDonald's and ask for a discount. And we're coming into your home, going into the hospitals with you, and you're asking us to bargain with you, bargain. It's just not right. I just had to get that off my chest. I'm sorry. So
My 2 cents on that is this: do you want to pay for a professional or do you want to pay for a college student? That's the bottom line.
exactly.
You're paying for someone to come in that has experience, knowledge, training, and in most instances have been certified to do what they do.
Yes.
So do you want that or do you want Susie from down the street
But
that
not.
just wants to have some money to go get some
Yeah.
new tennis shoes?
Yeah. Yeah, you don't bargain with your pediatrician or your OBGYN, So treat us right. Treat us right. We're there, and a lot of time we do even more than they do. Because I mean some of them they just go to school just to do, one thing. When after that they can't even help you. They don't even have the resource, to tell you what to do or to be there with you. We are there with you physically and emotionally, there with you. So please. Next thing I want to talk about is household management, meal planning. Again, who is that? Who's going to be responsible for that? Are you planning on preparing in bulk and then freeze for easy reeating? Are you consider using a meal train? Are you going to have friends bring food over for you? Laundry and cleaning. Who is going to do that? Are you going to hire a cleaning service? Are you going to hire a laundry service? Are you going to do it yourself? Who is responsible for that? Don't hesitate to delegate tasks, but at the same time, that's something that needs to be talked over, because the last thing you want is for your partner to feel like, okay, I'm now carrying all the load and I'm the one who have to do this. But when it's already discussed, you know ahead of time who's responsible for what, and then you can always plan it out. Are you going to have, a friend come over and help? But you cannot wait until the baby get here for you to decide all that. And don't hesitate to accept help. A lot of time people ask, how can I help you? What can I do? And sometimes pride, we're like, nothing. No, have them pay for somebody to come and help you, right? Sometimes they may not be able to come and do it, but they don't mind helping on your registry. Put it on there. Put the service on there that you need help. That's something that we have on our website. So if you're in the Atlanta area and you have a friend who's pregnant or you're pregnant, go to our website. Is mothershelpinghandsatlanta.com. We have our services listed. You can buy gift cards. A lot of my clients, they pay for the service for their friends. That's what they give to their friend, because their friend already, don't need things. This may be baby number 2, number 3. They don't need any more clothes. They don't need more swaddlers. They don't need, another stroller. But what they need is help. So that's one of the best things you can do for a friend. Provide help. If you come in together and like, okay, as a group of friends, come together. You alone don't have to pay for a week, but 3, 4 you can afford. Probably could come together and pay for a week, because it is much easier, cheaper to pay for someone to go into help than to see that mom being sleep deprived and overwhelmed, and next thing she have postpartum depression, next thing she going through all this mental breakdown, next thing you read her on the news doing something crazy. No, we say we are a village. Come together and act like a village, right? Put the information out there. Put the service out there. Help. Donate. Do what you can do. Churches. There's so many moms in churches who are suffering, and you're tithing and you're doing all this. The church, come together and do something.
The only thing I can say about that is a good time to do it would be during the baby shower. During the baby shower, that's when most people provide those types of things, the diapers, the onesies, and the other gifts. Let this be a gift of caring and sharing from you and several others, because if you guys can provide that relief for the expecting parents, that will go much, much further than a pack of diapers that the child is going to grow out of shortly, or a onesie that the child is going to grow out of shortly. Having that professional assistance, having that mental break, having that ability to get the sleep that you need to be able to deal with everyday tasks, that I'm quite sure if you provide that, they will let you know that that was more important than any other gift
Yes.
that they got
Yep.
during that shower.
That is true.
You can get a crib, you can get a stroller anywhere. Again, diapers they grow out of, onesies and other clothes and shoes they grow out of.
Help is
But
always.
having that help so that you're there for the child when necessary, having that help
Yes.
so that you aren't stressed out, postpartuming out, or just
Your
spinning out
emotional
of
well-being.
control
Yes.
because you can't handle it anymore, that is way more important.
Yep. You can have just a couple clothes, wash and reuse, wash and reuse. You don't need a lot of stuff, but you need help. You need that support.
That support in the beginning will last a lifetime because if you as a parent can deal with it in the beginning, things get easier.
Yes. Just yeah. And also, like you mentioned earlier about how, the dad's the partner. That's so important to have the partner involvement. Because sometimes I've noticed with a partner, they feel lost because, like, especially if mom is exclusively breastfeeding, they feel like, there's nothing that they can do, they can do. But there's so much they can do. They can even take that baby out for a walk so mom can get, if the weather, permits. So mom can get some time. Or, hire someone so they could spend time one-on-one, going for a walk, going out for dinner, just rekindling, spending that time together. It's very important for all parties involved.
Involved, definitely. And again, for the fathers, remember, you have to be taken care of too.
Yes.
Because even if mom is at home and not working, you still got to get up. You still got to function.
Yes.
You still have to deal with everyday tasks and go home and deal with mom, baby, whatever situation's going on there. You walk through the door, here, take the child, because she's stressed out. So you've got to be in a position where you can do that, where you gladly do it. And so that you know that you're appreciated just as much as mom. And that, again, that's where that doula can come in by not only taking some of that pressure off, but giving you ideas of what you can do
Yeah.
to make things more comfortable at home.
And I've had people say, my mom is coming to help, so I really don't need any additional help.
Lies.
But the thing is, how productive or how helpful it is going to be if you're both are tired. Because if mom is helping you during the daytime, you cannot expect that she's going to be up helping you at night. And a lot of time when you do have someone there, you're not getting the rest because you feel like especially some moms, they feel like they need to be there, they need to be entertaining, they need to be part of what's going on. So you're not even getting to sleep. Even though we tell you sleep when the baby sleep, not every mom can do that, right? So you need that support there. And even if you have a partner, at times when you get up to take care of the baby, they end up being up too, right? Even though you may not wake them up, but just being in the same room, in the same space, they end up being up. So they have to drive to work the next day. That's not safe. I've had dads who tell me they fell asleep at the stoplight because they're so tired. And even if they're working from home, going downstairs, if you're not rested, you're sleep deprived, how productive are you going to be for your job? So now you're not only jeopardizing your well-being, your health, but now your job is at stake because you cannot be as productive as you normally would. And all it takes is just hiring someone, right? Getting that help. Or if you cannot afford to hire someone to physically come in and do it, have that conversation so you know that, okay, I'm going to be up for this part of the night so mom can sleep and then mom take over and then I can go sleep. But that is something that you have to talk about because if you don't talk about it, you're both going to get tired, you're both going to get sleep deprived, you're both going to get overwhelmed, and then guess what? You're going to blow up. But if you have this conversation ahead of time, you will be much more prepared and equipped to face the things that are going to happen. This is not if it's going to happen. It is going to happen. This is life. This is what it is.
Also, getting back to the relatives coming in town, yeah, it's great to have them around, but again, it's a relative. They're going to feel privileged, I guess you could say. They're going to feel that because they are who they are, they can do what they want when they want. And from the parent's perspective, you're going to feel that you have to entertain, that you have to be around. But if you have that professional person there who can establish that environment and that detachment, and you know that this person is there exclusively for the child and not needing entertainment, not needing to be involved in everyday everything else, just for the child.
Or even
That
for the mom, because as
yeah,
postpartum doula, we're there for the whole, we're
you're
there
there
for the
for the
whole,
whole family,
the whole
but
family.
knowing
But
my
if
point is
mom
just
wants to
getting that.
entertain, at least,
Yes,
we could be
you don't
somewhere.
have that
Right.
problem with the doula being there because you know that doula is there for a specific purpose and a specific purpose only.
Well, do you want to touch on, like the financial part of it? Like I said, the planning for that financial future, for the child. We have, a few more
The
minutes
only
where we
thing I
can
can
talk
say about
about that.
that in the short amount of time is this.
I'm passionate about, I'm passionate about,
Yeah, I
my
haven't.
maternal.
I didn't say
Okay.
anything. I'm just taking my time.
Okay.
One thing that I do talk to families about is I know that there's this big thing going around as far as you know college savings and other plans that are available, but what people, in my opinion, and other financial professional opinions are overlooking is the fact that there are better ways for you to set aside those funds so that when it comes time for that child to either get a higher education and or start their own business and or get a new car, house or whatever, there are ways that parents can set aside funds that are completely available that can be saved without a tax burden when you decide to access those funds. Also, it can be done without a time limit that a lot of these current plans that are pushed, especially by jobs, have. Can't go into specifics in the short amount of time that I do have, but just know that there are things available. And if you're interested in learning about more, reach out. Seven Figure Doula has my information, obviously, and we can get back in touch with you to give you those details because there are things available that a lot of people do not know about. They are legal, they are legit, they have legal precedence in the tax code. So get in touch with me.
Yeah.
Let me talk to you about it so that you can learn a better way of doing it.
And for people who are interested in learning more about the financial, planning the financial future, for your child or for yourself, just drop the word financial in the chat and we'll definitely reach out to you. And it's not only for your child. Sometimes we as parents, we are in that sandwich generation where we are caring for now, our family, but we're also responsible for our parents. So that's something now we have to also think about. So that is something that you could also help with. So if you're interested in anything financial, just drop the word financial in the comment and we will definitely reach out to you. So until next time, this is Rosalie, your seven-figure doula whisperer. And please, if you know anyone who is in the Atlanta area, in the Stone Mountain, Snellville area, who is in need of a breast pump, a manual breast pump, please reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to, to meet and make sure that, parents have the stuff that they need because we are here to provide not only information but also for resource. Whatever I have. I'm going to make sure I share it with my community because that's what we're supposed to do. And if you are a doula who is looking to grow and scale your business, please text the word doula in the comment and I will be happy to reach out to you. I'm looking for others to be part of my membership, be part of my mentorship because, others that helped me to get to where I am. And I just want to share the things that I did in my business so that helped me to grow and to scale and to be where I am. And I'm just grateful for those people who poured into me and now I want to pour back into you. So until next time, this is Rosalie, your seven-figure doula whisperer, and I'll see you next week.